Hello, everybody, and welcome to our show. I'm Cyrus, and I'm looking forward to drinking some wine with you this evening.
And I'm Brittany, and it's a pretty rainy day in Maine today.
Yeah, and speaking of Maine, today we will be reviewing 2 wines from Maine. So they're not grape wines, though. Grape wines are still relatively new here in Maine. So blueberry wines, though, have been made for a pretty long time here. So we'll be trying 2 of those out today.
Yeah, and as natural, I brought a purple wine.
And I brought a purple wine. Intro. So, Brittany, what are we drinking this week?
So actually, Maine makes blueberry wine regularly because Maine is known for its wild blueberries. They actually make more blueberries in the world than any other place.
Checks out. We see them everywhere here.
Yeah, so it's great.
Well, what did you bring?
Oh, yes. So today I brought a 2020 blueberry sparkling wine from Scarborough, Maine, pretty close to us. And it's from the winery Blute. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, bleuet, I think is how the French would say it, but here in America, blew it.
Blewit.
They blew it for sure.
And it comes in at 8.5% alcohol.
Yeah, it looked like a really cool bottle. It says it's made in the champagne method. I'm not sure if that means they let it sit on the yeast or...
It does look like it's corked like a champagne bottle.
Well, I'm excited.
Me as well.
Let's get it open. Nicely done. It's a celebration. Well, this looks amazing.
Yes, and it is very purple.
Yeah. It's got nice fine bubbles, which always make it look
super foamy.
elegant. And the foam was like a nice cherry color.
All right, let's give it a smell.
Let's do it.
I think that it actually smells kind of twiggy.
Yeah, I expected it to smell so much sweeter.
And it has this little sort of twinge to it. So I'm kind of wondering if this will be a dry wine. I know that blueberry wine can be sweet and dry. So.
Yeah, the last few blueberry wines, and that's, I guess, all the blueberry wines I've had in my life, have been sweet. So I was interested to smell this, and it was not what I expected.
Yeah, and having it be a style that's similar to champagne, I kind of hope it's going to be dry.
Well, let's get in here.
Great. It sort of tastes like a blueberry soda.
Yeah, it is sweet like a soda, but it's herbal too.
It's very herbal. It tastes like a sort of soda tea. Have you ever had like a soda tea?
Can't say I have.
No? Okay. I don't know how else to put it. It's definitely herbal. It has sort of that blueberry taste, but it's just mostly herbs.
Yeah, it reminds me of like an Italian Amaro, like an Amaro Montenegro or something. It's dark herbal, like an aperitif, but then it's spritzy and a little bit of sweet, like a champagne. So really interesting.
I think it's a great summer celebration wine for sure. Something I would definitely drink at brunch with blueberry pancakes.
Yeah, this is really, really well made. Props to the winemakers.
Yeah, I'm very happy with it.
That's very cool. I'm going to get in here again.
Great. You know what is interesting? Towards the end of the taste, it sort of gets a little meaty.
Yeah, I get that too.
But not crazy like the red wines that we've tried in the past, but some sort of savoriness to it that balances out that sweet. It's definitely very well balanced with a lot of sparkle and brightness, which makes it a perfect summer wine.
I'm impressed.
Me too.
Well, Brittany, tell us a little bit about Maine wine.
So, I've heard that red wine is actually pretty good for you in moderation. Blueberry is very good for you as well. It's packed with all kinds of things that have been linked to help with preventing cancer, reducing inflammation, helping with all kinds of different health needs. And it's just full of vitamins, like 17 vitamins, almost the amount of the alphabet. So it's pretty good for you, which is super surprising. And it's great. And it's actually pretty low in alcohol as well. So having a couple glasses is wonderful.
Yeah, these are what, 8.5%, something like that. So
yeah, so it's very interesting. Something that is missing from blueberry wines, though, are the tannins. So typical wines definitely have tannins, at least most of them do. Most of the good ones.
Red grape wines too, yeah.
And so tannins are actually something that you can add into wines. So they tend to add tannins to blueberry wines to kind of enrich the flavor and make it more wine-like.
Yeah, more grape wine-like.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I've heard that they also sometimes will add citric acid too to kind of get the mouthfeel of like a fresh grape wine, because some of these blueberries, when they're harvested late in the season, will be really, really sweet and lack some of that acidity. So they'll add back the acid.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And I love blueberries. Blueberries are great for you. So this is a wonderful excuse to drink more blueberry wine.
Yeah. Well, we will be right back with our second bottle after this.
Awesome. All right, I'm coming in with our social medias. So we have YouTube now, so check us out on that. And then we also have Spotify, and you can listen to us on any other place that you get your podcast at. Also check our Facebook and Twitter. We frequently update those with some pictures and information too about our episodes. So please like, subscribe, click that button.
Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. So for my bottle today, I brought another sparkling blueberry wine.
Shocker.
Yeah, so this is a 2021 sparkling blueberry wine called Arcadia. It's produced by a company right here in Portland, Maine, where we are, and it comes in at 8% alcohol. This one is not a champagne style. It says that it's a wild Maine sparkling wine. Don't know what that means. Wild Maine blueberries are kind of a specific type of blueberries. They're not farmed. They're actually just grown on like hillsides. So kind of like grapes. So I guess that's what they're referring to, but it's kind of ambiguous. But let's get it open.
Great.
Put it on the table, right? Well, that was exciting.
Beware that this one bubbles up a lot. So right away, I feel that the color is more of a bright purple.
Yeah, I agree. It's got like almost pinky.
A pinky purple color.
Yeah. Well, let's get in and smell this.
Great.
Wow, that smells fermented. That is so wild. I get why they say wild. I get that word now.
Yeah, I can't get much smell over the fermentation smell.
Yeah, it's barnyard is what it smells like.
Yes. I was going to just say it smells like mushroom.
Well, let's get in and taste this.
Great.
Well, that is really, really interesting. Unlike the other one where they've left some residual sugar, this one they've fermented it to bone dry.
It's really sour. So it still has that sparkliness that the other one has. And I think that it's just more gritty and tart and sour. It's getting a lot of that wild blueberry taste for sure. And I think you're right when it comes to not having a ton of sugar on the taste. That helps it balance it out. So I feel that this is just pure wild blueberries, which are great. But them with the entire fermentation taste, that's a lot.
Yeah, and it's also very like unprocessed. It's like clearly just they've just like put it in and let nature take its course with it.
Right.
Which is really cool. It kind of gives it like a cidery kind of feel. Like
it's almost like a blueberry beer. Like
Yeah.
I've tasted blueberry beers in Maine. I mean, there are tons. But like a blueberry cider or a blueberry beer, it's giving me more of that taste where it's more gritty. It's more beer-like.
Yeah, the first one was very wine. This one
Yes.
is like a because of how fermented it is, it's a sour beer.
Right. I think so. So it's interesting that it went in that direction. I like that we chose these two. I honestly thought that they would be more similar, but they're actually pretty different.
Yeah, really different. And I like both of them. I think that the first one was really, really well made to taste like wine.
I agree with that.
And the second one is not trying to pretend it's wine.
Yes.
It's totally something else.
Supernatural. I think they were going with that. So I do think that I like both components. It's really hard to taste them back to back though, because they're so different.
If you like sour beers, you will like this. It's like choke cherry. It's, it's like sour raspberry. If you like warheads, you might like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, I did want to bring up while we were talking about Maine, little unpaid promotion here. There's something called the Maine Wine Trail, #not sponsored, that is kind of like an association of wineries and places that make wine adjacent products, kind of like mead and stuff, that is a little trail throughout Maine that you can do. And there's like over 25 of them now, whereas just a few years ago, there were less than 10. So wine in Maine is growing really, really fast. And there are a lot of reasons for that. Part of it is the climate is changing and it's getting warmer, which is allowing grapes to grow better here in Maine. New technology and new kind of winemaking techniques, as well as new grape hybrids that are more cold resistant and more rot resistant. There's a lot of Canadian grapes that are being grown here in Maine that are awesome and kind of give you, for the whites, it's like a lot of like Riesling style wines. And for the reds, a lot of kind of the lighter red styles, a lot like the ones we had from, I think it was in the Hungary episode and maybe in our Austria episode. So a lot of those styles of wine. And honestly, if you're ever here in Maine, check them out. Check out the Maine Wine Trail website. It's an awesome kind of resource for finding cool wine spots in Maine. Even just wineries that don't make their own wine, but kind of are good jumping off points for different Maine wines. And that would be my recommendation, because then you can try wine from all over the state without having to travel all over the state.
It makes me want to buy a spot to build a winery, because I feel that it's going to get big one day. Because yes, of course we got wild Maine blueberry wines, but there are other grape varieties that are being grown here, which is kind of a surprise, but it's exciting to know that that's growing a bit more here.
Yeah, and we have some really, really cool kind of microclimate here because of the way that we are on the ocean, where we get kind of this big current out the sea that brings warm air up the coast, and means that the coast of Maine is actually a pretty good wine growing region these days. So I'm excited to see what keeps coming out of Maine, and we get to kind of be a part of it.
Yeah, me too.
Well, Brittany, what do you think of our two wines here?
I think they're interesting. I don't typically go for blueberry wine, but I think it's a great venture out for special events or just to surprise yourself even more and see what's out there. So it was great kind of taking a gander into these and seeing what Maine can do. Overall, I would say Blute has been my favorite out of these two, but I do like the different components of each for sure. It's just the other one's just a little too tart for my taste, but it's really cool to get that sort of beer blueberry taste out of a wine and see what they can produce.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm almost exactly with you. I think that the Bluet or the Bluet was so well made to be a grape wine, facsimile, that it was amazing, and I was so surprised by how good it was. The other one is, like you said, just so cidery and so tart. I was not expecting that at all, but I'm pleasantly surprised by that too, because I was worried that it was going to be too sweet, and that's definitely not what it was. So I agree. They were both really, really cool in different ways.
Yeah, and it was fun getting some bubbles in today. So
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for being with us. And as always, Brittany, I look forward to drinking some more wine with you.
And I with you, Cyrus.
Alrighty, bye now.
Bye.